To all the grown-ups listening, in 17 days, you can sign your family up for Curious Camp. It's an at-home, interactive, self-paced, and screen-free week-long experience hosted by me. For more information, visit CuriousKidsEveryday.com/camp. It's Curious Kids Weekend Picks, where a kid from the Curious Kids Club gets to pick the episode. So, what episode are we going to hear today?
Hello, I'm Simon, and my favorite episode is What is a Black Hole?
Hi, my name is Grace, and I'm 6 years old, and my favorite episode of this show is how stars turn into black holes.
Hi, welcome to Curious Kids Every Day. I'm Josh. How are you doing today? It's so good to hear from you. Do you want to know my favorite thing about space? My favorite thing about space is that we know so much about it, but there is still so much we don't know. It's still a big mystery to us down here on Earth. And the thing up there in space that explains this best is a black hole. We know a lot about black holes, but for as much as we know, there's even more that we don't know. So let's explore black holes today. A black hole is one of the most fascinating things in space. It's not a hole like you dig in the ground. It's a place where gravity is so strong that nothing can escape it. Not even light. That's why it looks totally black. That's why we call it a black hole. Let's rewind and talk about where black holes come from. Most black holes start when a giant star dies. During its life, a star is like a giant ball of gas held together by gravity. But at the end of its life, when the star runs out of fuel, it can no longer hold itself up. It collapses in on itself. This explosion is called a supernova. What's left behind is an incredibly small but super heavy object. If it's heavy enough, it becomes a black hole. Now, black holes can be really small or really big. Some are only the size of a single city, but they weigh more than our entire sun. And at the center of most galaxies, including our own Milky Way, there's something called a supermassive black hole. These ones are millions or even billions of times heavier than the sun. The gravity of a black hole is absolutely crazy and incredibly powerful. But if black holes are really that strong, shouldn't they just gobble up the entire universe? Well, the answer is no. Black holes don't go around swallowing everything. They follow the same laws of gravity as everything else. So as long as you're not too close, you're totally safe. In fact, if the sun was magically replaced with a black hole the same size 93 million miles away from us here on Earth, we would just keep orbiting around it like normal. We wouldn't get sucked up being this far away. Now, don't worry though. Our sun isn't big enough to become a black hole anyway. We're totally safe. and it's not going to run out of fuel for billions of years. Keep on shining, the sun! The edge of a black hole is called the event horizon. That's the point where once something crosses it, it can't escape. Not even light. Inside the event horizon, everything gets pulled towards the very center of the black hole, called the singularity. That's where all the mass is squished into an unimaginably tiny point. We don't know what happens at the singularity. At the center of a black hole, all our current laws of physics break down. Gravity becomes so strong and space-time gets so warped that we don't know what's happening there. Because black holes don't give off light, we can't see them directly. But scientists can spot them by watching how they affect nearby stars and space stuff. If a star suddenly disappears or starts swirling around something invisible, that might mean a black hole is nearby. And get this, in 2019, scientists used a special telescope to capture the very first image of a black hole's shadow. It looked like a glowing orange ring with a dark center, kind of like a space donut. We don't know what happens to things that fall into a black hole. Do they get crushed? Stretch into spaghetti? Get zapped into another part of the universe? No one knows for sure, because we can't observe it directly. This is one of the biggest puzzles in science, called the black hole information paradox. Can you say black hole information paradox? According to quantum physics, information, like what an object is made of, it can never be lost. But if a black hole swallows something, where does that information go? Scientists are still debating this. We don't know the answer. We have absolutely no idea what happens to things that fall into a black hole. Do they cease to exist or become something different? Or travel someplace else like a portal? I love that it's all still such a mystery. It's fun to imagine what it might be. What do you think happens inside of a black hole? I could spend all day thinking about black holes. So many things to ponder and to question. But let's run through all the things we do know about a black hole. Are you ready? Do you remember what it's called when a star explodes? That's called a supernova. And at the center of most galaxies, including our galaxy, the Milky Way, there's usually something called a supermassive black hole. And the edge of a black hole is called the event horizon. This is the point where once something crosses it, it cannot escape. And then the very center of a black hole is called the singularity. That's where all the mass is squished into an unimaginably tiny point. And the biggest mystery of all is the black hole information paradox. Because information about an object can't just be lost according to our laws of quantum physics. But inside of a black hole, what happens when something just disappears? Where does the information about that thing go? Maybe one day we'll know. Or maybe all we'll ever be able to do is guess. What I do know is that black holes keep me looking up and keep me asking questions. And speaking of questions, let's have a quick quiz. What is the name of the explosion that happens when a massive star dies? That is a supernova. And what is the center of a black hole called? We call it the singularity. And what's the invisible edge around a black hole called where nothing can escape? That's called the event horizon. I think that name is so cool. Event horizon. Let's play true or false. True or false, a black hole is a giant hole floating in space. False. It's not a hole. It's super compressed matter. It just looks like a hole to us because light can't escape, so it's just completely black. True or false, black holes suck in everything in the universe. That's false. Only objects that get too close are affected. True or false, our galaxy has a black hole at its center. That's true. It's a supermassive black hole. True or false, black holes can be detected by watching how they affect nearby stars. That's true. And because no light escapes out of a black hole, that's one of the main ways that we can spot them is by noticing, hey, wait, where'd that star go? Would you rather know what happens inside of a black hole or have a telescope that can see every black hole in the universe? It would be so cool to know how many black holes there are in the universe, but actually being able to know what happens inside of a black hole, I can't pass that up. I've got to know what happens inside of a black hole. All right, let's play What Am I? I'm the explosion of a dying star. I can outshine an entire galaxy for a short time. I often lead to the formation of black holes. That would be a supernova. All right, here's another one. I'm the invisible edge around a black hole. Nothing, not even light, can escape me. I mark the point of no return. What am I? That's event horizon. All right, let's play one more. I'm found at the center of many galaxies. I'm huge, millions of times heavier than the sun. The Milky Way has me at its center. It's a supermassive black hole. Okay, I'm going to describe something. You tell me if it's something real in space or something made up. Is there a planet made entirely of diamonds? Yes, there is. There's a real planet called, I'm going to try to get this right, 55 Cancri. Cancri. And it may have a diamond-like interior. All right, is this real or fake? A spaceship that uses black holes as engines. No, that's pretend. That's not real. What about a star that orbits a black hole? Yep, that's real. We've seen stars that do this. What about a wormhole that lets you travel across the universe instantly? No, that's not real. At least as far as we know. All right, what about a black hole the size of a peanut? This is a real possibility. Tiny black holes may exist. We just haven't found one that small yet, but they could exist. I love learning about mysterious things out in space like black holes. When we're living nice and safe lives down here on Earth, it's easy to forget that above us, many, many light years away, are mysteries that we are still trying to figure out. Black holes are one of my favorites to learn about. What do you think happens inside of a black hole? And what kind of question do you think we'll ask tomorrow on Curious Kids Every Day? I can't wait to find out. So until then, keep asking questions and stay curious, kids. And we have some birthdays today. AJ from California is turning 6. Happy birthday, AJ. Elliot from Oregon is turning 6. Happy birthday, Elliot. Chase from South Carolina is turning 3. Happy birthday, Chase. Bodie from Missouri is turning 5. Happy birthday, Bodie. Lucia from Texas is turning 4. Happy birthday, Lucia. Becca from Oslo, Norway has a birthday today too. Happy birthday, Becca. Vincent from London is turning 5. Happy birthday, Vincent. Ginu from North Carolina is turning 5. Happy birthday, Ginu. Eliana from Colorado is turning 5. Happy birthday, Eliana. Mason from Prince Albert, Saskatchewan is turning 7. Happy birthday, Mason. Mason from Vancouver, BC, Canada is turning 8. Happy birthday, Mason. Charlie Moon from Alaska is turning 2. Happy birthday, Charlie Moon. Alejandro from North Carolina is turning 6. Happy birthday, Alejandro. Chloe from California is turning 4. Happy birthday, Chloe. Honey Bear has a birthday today too, and Honey Bear is from Maryland. Happy birthday, Honey Bear. Rhett Creech from Alberta, Canada is turning 6. Happy birthday, Rhett Creech. Easton from Canada is turning 8. Happy birthday, Easton. To all the grown-ups listening, if your curious kid wants their birthday mentioned on the show, please visit supportcuriouskids.com and join the Curious Kids Club. That's supportcuriouskids.com. See you tomorrow.